How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is the CFTC report for the data that was recorded on February 2nd, 2021. So let's start by taking a look at gold. What do we see? So gold was consolidating here at the highs, and as that was happening, the institutions just added slightly to their longs and added slightly to their shorts. So we're not seeing much in terms of a shift in their positions. What we are seeing is that they are pretty much still bullish, right? They've been bullish for quite some time, but they've been taking profits up at these highs. That's what they've been doing. So they're not focusing on accumulating a position right at this point. So we don't want to be starting to engage in any positions with gold at this point, because simply they're not adding. Okay, if they're not adding major positions to longs or shorts, we don't want to start piling on. All right, this is what the banks do. They were building up long positions all throughout this rally up here on the monthly chart. This is when they took profits. Now we're down at demand. Are they going to start accumulating long positions to push price back up? It's possible, but we're not seeing that right now. Okay, there's been some profit taking, a little bit of adding, some profit taking, a little bit of adding, and some profit taking again. So until we see clear signs, we shouldn't be engaging in this chart. Next we have oil. Oil continues higher just as we had forecasted, and now we are entering into massive supply. We got massive supply here by the institutions. Okay, so what we are expecting to see is a turnaround in price and a shift to the downside. All right, so with that in mind, let's take a look at the positions. We see that they didn't do much with their longs, but they increased their shorts from 171 to 176. Now, is this going to be the beginning of a bigger increase in short positions? Because if that is what takes place, we will definitely start to see price shift over to the downside and move down. There are certain things that we're watching for on the chart. I've mentioned this in the latest EURUSD report and in the video analysis of the COT report for members only. And so we'll be watching for those signals to engage in positions on this chart. US dollar price is in massive demand right now, which is why we're seeing this push to the upside. And when we look at the positions, we're not seeing much in terms of their positions. They're not shifting anything, not doing anything special. Bottom line is, though, they are still bearish. You know, we look at the coloration of the cells, they are still bearish, and we look at net positions, they are bearish there as well. So we are waiting for signals on this one to get in short. We are looking at other dollar pairs as well. This move to the upside is just beginning. It looks like there could be more of a push to the upside, so we are watching for that. If this is going to shift to the downside, there are going to be things on the charts that we're going to be watching for to facilitate that move, first of all. And once that takes place, then we'll know that the institutions are ready to push price lower. So next we have the Aussie. Aussie dropped into demand and then responded. Okay, institutional demand, and then responded to the upside as it would normally do. And what do we see as price was dropping down? They increased shorts from 55 to 57. They took off a little bit of their longs, but not much to see there. So if we take a look at the coloration of the cells, what do we see here? Not much, right? Here was a little bit more blue, and then later on it's getting a little bit more in this area, a little bit more bearish, but not too much. Okay. Bottom line is, if you look at net positions, they're not doing much with their positions. Okay. They were bullish, they went to bearish, now they're in between. So we really don't want to get involved in this chart at this point, especially because of, you know, how the positions are situated. And with all this demand here, if price is going to go down, there's got a lot that has to break through in order to get down there. USCAD, it hit demand, and you know, we saw a slight move to the upside. The short positions, they increased them big time a couple weeks back to 53, but then they just closed off those shorts again. At the same time, they had increased longs and they took those off again. Bottom line is, shorts are getting aggressive. As we can see, coloration of the cells are turning from neutral to bearish, and net positions as well, bearish. So we've had a bearish sentiment on this for quite some time. The interesting thing is when you look at what the retail traders are doing, retail traders have been focused on long positions. So as price was dropping down here, this was a trade signal to go short here and cover here, and you see it worked out perfectly. As we were focusing on shorts, just the retail traders are focusing on longs. They are doing the exact opposite of what the institutions were doing with price, and this is what we don't want to do. You have to be very careful with being on the right side. If you're on the wrong side, forget about it. You're not going to make money in this business. So let's move over to the Swiss franc. Swiss franc, we saw a slight rally up from demand. More so on this one than we have with any other dollar pair. Nice push up. I think we got a similar push up on the US dollar Japanese yen, which we'll take a look at. So as price was starting to rally up, we see an increase in shorts from 17 to 22. Now that's nothing unusual. We've seen these levels before. It's when these levels get broken through and we see higher numbers that we should start to prepare for a push lower. Euro US dollar, they decrease long positions right here, so they close off some long positions for profits. And then they added shorts to their 79s. But again, we've been here before, so nothing unusual. We want to see a break above these numbers for there to be a bigger push to the downside. But we are expecting more downside on this chart. And we got very specific things that we'll be watching for on the lower time frames as well to indicate that move lower. Pound, we see price was consolidating here, increase in longs 47 to 47 to 53,000. They also increased some shorts from 39 to 44. But longs are of interest here. Now we had a long signal to buy here, and we have targets a little bit higher, and this has been working out very nicely. It's over 1,000 pips already, winner. And so yeah, we knew from down here that this was going to be an excellent area to buy the pound. That was our buying zone to get involved in this currency pair. And there was also other factors that were supporting the fact that price was going to be moving up. And we've detailed this in the EURUSD report for many months now, since last year. So we're seeing this continuation of a move up now, heading towards our weekly targets higher up. US dollar Japanese yen, here's that move that I was talking about. As that was happening, they increased their longs from 18 to 24, still in cooled off territory, just pointing it out. They also increased shorts from 63 to 69. So there's no supply for this to turn around, but we are expecting a move like this in some time. Next and last is the Kiwi. Kiwi, we see an increase in longs from 28 to 30,000, starting to become aggressive again. But we also see aggressiveness in shorts from 13 to 18. That came as price was consolidating right here, and again our weekly target has been hit. Okay, that was our weekly target when price was down here. In fact, when price was down here, we were saying that price was going to reverse and start heading higher. So weekly target hit on this one, another winner for the university. So good to see. Another thing I want to point out here is we were aggressive here back in December. We're starting to head towards those areas now, and we're also heading into a little bit more aggressiveness with total size, which means we could start to see some profit taking soon on either position. Right now it's hard to say which one because we're not reacting from supply. We're not expecting any move to the downside. We have some supply here which could push price down temporarily, but over the longer period of time we are expecting more upside. Alright, ladies and gents, that is your CFTC report. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can reach us at www.whiteoakfx.com. Thanks. Have a great week.